Hey everyone, it's Justine, health and wellness transformation coach and author of the book Lose Your Inches Without Losing Your Mind, which is on Amazon and also my website happyhealthypeople.com. Oh, and I'm also now a Reiki practitioner, which can be in person and remotely. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, you can contact me and I'll tell you all about it. So today's video, well, first I wanted to say thank you to my new subscribers. I've been making more videos about all sorts of topics, and I'm now getting requests for topics for videos. Um, so I really do appreciate that. And I'm just, here to help as many people as possible on their life journey. So today's topic is about forgiveness. I thought this is a great topic because we're starting the holiday season and soon it'll be in full force. And the holidays can bring up a lot of emotions. It could be seeing people you haven't seen in a long time, going places you haven't been to in a long time, bringing up memories of past holidays and how they were, and maybe having some sadness about some of them, or regrets or remorse, or anyway, all sorts of stuff can come up around the holidays. So I thought that it'd be important to talk about forgiveness, both of self and others. So why forgive in the first place? The main thing is that it helps you to feel better. Okay, well, if you hold a lot of stuff in, it can actually really affect your health. It can affect your well-being, your stress, your mood. Eventually, it can actually manifest as physical ailments. So it's really just important to not keep a lot of emotions in like that, and just keep things going over and over in your head, because it's not good for you. It's not good for anybody. So I'll go more into that in a second. So let's first talk about how to forgive others. Now, the main thing with forgiveness is it doesn't make it, let's say someone's abusive to you, verbally, mentally, physically, psychologically. There's all sorts of kinds of abuse. So forgiving another person doesn't make what they did okay. It just releases you from that, the feeling and the emotion, and sort of like that tie to that situation that's no longer serving you. Okay, a lot of people have experienced all kinds of unfortunate and terrible situations and abuse, and I've certainly been on the tail end of that. It just doesn't help to hold on to stuff, right? So one technique to help you forgive another person is to look at the situation from a different perspective. Try to look at it, if possible, from their point of view. And this is where you might be able to have more compassion. Did they know what they're doing? Did they have the tools to express themselves in a healthy way? Were they even taught that growing up? Did anyone say, versus, hitting a person or exploding or yelling or whatever, were they taught how to express their emotions nicely, or to not just lash out? They may have not been taught that. Again, it doesn't make it okay. It just helps you to kind of see things from another person's perspective. Maybe they were experiencing pain and they took it out on you because you're the closest person there, because you're right there, like you're an easy target. We can't necessarily get into their head to know what they were doing at the time, or what led to them hurting you in some way, or saying something mean, or whatever it is. And also, maybe they're actually really sorry, but they don't know how to say, I'm sorry. Again, first of all, they think you won't accept it. And second of all, they're scared. Like, they're scared to say, you know what, I'm sorry, I was wrong, let's move forward. And if a person does tell you, I'm sorry, again, forgive them. Like, keep your heart open and just say, thank you so much for that. And yes, I forgive you, and let's move forward. You don't want to hold on to resentment or grudges or anything like that, because it doesn't serve you at all. Another reason why it's helpful, and a way to forgive others, is to release your emotions. It's really important to not hold emotions, especially the icky ones, inside, because it's just like literally can eat at you. It can cause health issues. It can cause depression. isolation and just feelings of unworthiness, and just, we don't want to keep stuff inside. We need to let it out. Now, for women, it's a lot easier to let out emotions, especially like if a woman cries, sometimes it's like, oh, she's crying. Well, good. She's letting it out. For men, for whatever reason, they've been sort of taught that releasing emotions isn't manly. It's not okay. We always have to have everything together and be all like tough and stuff. You know what? Forget that. Get the emotions out. You're going to feel a lot better. Now, there's different ways to release your emotions. I mean, the first way is to actually talk to the person and just be your authentic, vulnerable self. Like, here I am. I'm sorry. You might have a tear. It's totally cool. You might want to write that person a letter. Maybe you actually send it, or maybe you just write it to yourself, but it's just a way to like write things out on the page and to, again, release the emotions, kind of like journaling. Get that emotion out there onto a letter, or even like typing it on the computer. And another way to release your emotions, I mean, of course, like, yeah, you could cry, you could feel, like you want to feel it, you got to feel it to heal it. And another way, if you're able to speak with a person, if that person is open to you, is something called nonviolent communication. So this is something I learned about recently, and it's a really healthy way to release emotions with that other person and to like bring immediate healing. So how it works is that you both sit right across from each other, and you're sort of like holding each other's like you're cross-legged and you're like holding their knees or their legs. And it's just, the point is just really be really close, like face to face, eye to eye. And what I would say is that when you do this, it makes me feel this, and I wish you would do this instead. So for example, when you snap at me, it makes me feel unworthy and small, and I wish that you would just speak nicely to me and tell me what's on your mind, right? And then that person will repeat exactly what you just said back to you. So by them saying what you just said, they're immediately seeing things from their point of view. Oh, when I snap at her, it makes her feel unworthy, and she just wants me to speak nicely to her and share what's on my mind. So it's like poof, like you both have an immediate understanding. So the one person would do this like 2 or 3 times, maybe about different feelings they're experiencing, and then the other person does it. And each partner, you're repeating what the other person's saying. So that's a way to express your emotions in a healthy way. And then for that person to not become defensive. Because usually if we're like talking to someone like, oh, when you did this, it made me feel this way, then that person's immediately on the defense, like, well, when you do this, you make me feel this way. Like, that's not good for anyone. So it wants to be kind of like setting the stage of, we're going to just share our feelings and our emotions in a healthy way, and then we're going to move forward right afterwards. So then it's a lot simpler. Now let's talk about forgiving of yourself. Now sometimes this is the harder thing to do. I'm not sure why. I think it's just because in general we're always harder on ourselves. Like we think we're supposed to be perfect. We're supposed to have everything together. We're supposed to be born and like have life figured out immediately. That's not the case. We're humans. We're in this body. We're having this experience, and we're here to learn and to grow. I think that's why we're here. So if you don't forgive yourself, then what happens is you keep reliving what you've done over and over in your brain. Again, it's like this recorder. It's like this programming that just loops. That's not healthy for you. If you don't forgive yourself, you can let it affect your decisions even now. So if something happened 10, 20 years ago, maybe you're still making decisions based on that. Like, let's say you were in a relationship when you were younger, and some person, let's say they said they loved you, but they really treated you terribly. They treated you like crap, right? And that was like your first real relationship. So maybe you're carrying forward for every single relationship, for the next 10, 20 years that, oh, well, if a person says they love me and they treat me like crap, it's okay because I'm really not that lovable or deserving of it. It's just like this terrible pattern. So it helps to, before I said like how to try to forgive that person. They may not have known what they're doing. They may not have known any better. They didn't have the tools. Doesn't make it okay. But there's no sense in like having something that happened a long time ago like affect you now, right? If we don't forgive ourselves, maybe we keep talking negatively to ourselves. So it's like your own verbal abuse. You feel unworthy and undeserving, and you struggle to trust yourself with any future decisions. So if you've done something to someone in the past or whatever it is that you're ready to forgive yourself about, then it's time to do that. There's no sense to hold on to it. It's going to help you to move forward. It's going to help you to make peace with the past. It's going to help you grow as a person. So when we make mistakes, which we all do, the whole goal is to keep growing. So learn from that experience and keep moving forward. And then look at the situation objectively. Like when we do something we're really hard on ourselves, like what would someone else, if we told a friend, oh, I just did this and this, like what advice would they give us, right? So like give advice to yourself, but pretend it's not you. Like if you were your own friend, what advice would you give yourself right now? That can help you too. And the last thing, like why it's important to forgive yourself, is the whole goal is to learn to love yourself. We need to be able to love ourselves fully and completely in order to fully and completely love another person. So a lot of times, like, we find it easy to love another, but then the second they disappoint us for whatever reason, because we have some whatever expectation, then we kind of take it out on them, or we feel unworthy, or we feel duped, or it's just like this whole cycle that happens. But we really need to learn to love ourselves completely, inside and out, accept ourselves for who we are, accept that we're humans and we're always growing and always learning and we're not perfect. Because when you fully love and accept yourself, you can fully love and accept another person in your life. In like, an intimate, a partnership, relationship, spouse, whatever it is. Like you have to just be complete within yourself before you can really be complete with another person as well. That's one of my big life lessons, is learn to love yourself first, and then another can love you for you, because you already do. Like, it's like a mirror. Anyway, so I hope that this video helped a bit about forgiveness and going into this holiday season. If any of you would like some health coaching, I do it online and in person as well. And I also offer Reiki, which is energy work, which can also help to heal stuff and move stuff around and help to release emotions in a healthy way. I do that in person and also remotely, so I don't even have to be in your home. It can be all done online. So if you'd like to hear more about that, you can email me at justine@happyhealthypeople.com. Okay, so I will see you in the next video.